Have you ever had that tiny little bit of air coming out the front of your airbrush, even when you're not pressing down on the trigger? Today, I'm going to give you a super easy hack for dealing with that. I'm Warwick from Harder & Steenbeck, and this video is part of our series of Need to Know Basics. Now, when you have this problem, when there's a tiny little bit of air escaping from the front of the airbrush, basically what that means is inside your air valve, which is this part right here underneath the airbrush, something is getting slightly stuck and not fully closing off. Typically what it is there's this very small O-ring that sits on the air valve plunger inside this valve. Now I've stripped one out here. This is not what I'm going to be asking you to do, but I've done it just to make it clearer. This little O-ring can sometimes pick up very small trace amounts of solvents from paints, even from water-based paints, and it can sometimes swell a touch. If you're using things like acetone and so on to clean your airbrush, first of all, please stop. It's never necessary. That stuff is super vicious. But any kind of solvent that gets into this O-ring will cause it to slightly swell. And when it slightly swells, it's going to be out of tolerance, and it might cause your air valve to start binding slightly. And you'll feel that in terms of your trigger motion and the up and down. It starts to feel a little bit less cool, and you might find it gets stuck slightly as well, and you get that air leak from the front of the airbrush. This tip, by the way, doesn't just apply to Harder & Steenbeck. You can use this on almost any brand of airbrush. Certainly every brand that I've ever used in my lifetime, this tip has been applicable to. So hopefully it helps people outside of our immediate airbrush family as well. And here's what the hack is. If you have this problem, simply unscrew your air valve from your airbrush, okay? There's no need to strip it, you just take this part. Then what you need to do is get yourself a kettle and a mug. Boil the kettle, take your air valve, put it in the bottom of the mug, and pour that hot, freshly boiled water over the top of your air valve. The idea is to get that air valve sitting in water that's maybe 90 degrees or something. Then you just leave it there for an hour or so and let that water cool with the air valve in the water. What that will do is any solvent that's in that O-ring will sweat out and leave it, because it will gas off at temperatures much lower than 90. By the time that water's fully cooled, take that air valve back out, give it a bit of a shake, screw it on the bottom of your airbrush, and what you will find 99 times out of 100 is that that little O-ring will have contracted back to its tolerance size, and it will start functioning absolutely perfectly, and that problem will be gone and you'll never have it again. Thanks very much for watching. Hope it was helpful. Do like and subscribe so that we can see if you guys are liking our content. Any other questions of small things that you might want to hack for, leave it in the comments, and we may just be able to help you figure it out.